All right, so page 18 in your book, there really isn't anything new per se to learn in this lesson. It really is just the synthesizing of two lessons you already know about. You know about the circle of fifths from Unit 1 from before, and you also now know about relative major and minor keys and how minor scales can be related to major scales. So we're just going to put those two things together. This circle of fifths you can see now is slightly different in that we have two circles, right? We're going to use the outer circle as our regular major circle of fifths and our inner circle now with the relative minor keys for each one. All right, so it says complete the following circle of fifths diagram with major keys around the outside, relative minor keys on the inside. So the first step should be pretty basic. Our regular circle of fifths that we already know and love, right? We have F major here, we have G major, what's next? D, okay? This is just review, right? A, let me just move this over a little bit, we can finish it up. E major is here, B major, and of course F sharp. Okay, and then towards the flats we have the F major with one flat, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and the one at the bottom here is of course G flat major. So that's all review, that's stuff from before, not a problem. Now we're going to complete the inner circle with our minor keys. You know that as we read this circle of fifths, the key signature up here has no sharps or flats. This has one sharp, this key signature has two sharps, 3 and 4, etc., and we increase our flats. F major has one flat, two flats, three flats for E flat major, of course, and we carry on like that. Now for our minor key signatures, our minor keys, you remember what the relationship is between a major key and its relative minor key. There's always 3 half steps between those major keys and minor keys. So if you look at the keyboard, at a piano keyboard, and see the note C, go down 3 half steps, you'll arrive at A. In fact, why don't I bring in a keyboard just to help us out a little bit here. All right, so with this keyboard in place, we can hopefully use this to help us understand our distances between major and minor keys. And I'm just going to quickly label this piano keyboard just to make sure we're grounded properly in this keyboard, right? So there's E, F, G, etc. A, B, C. All right, so here we can actually see the distance between C and A. Here's C. 1, 2, 3 half steps gets us to A minor. Just simply use the same process for every spot on the circle of fifths. Here we got the note G, we've got the key of G major. What's the relative minor key? It's 3 half steps below the note G. This is the beginning of the major scale. Count down 3, 1, 2, and 3. The relative minor key is E minor. Now a little bit of notational information, just in case you aren't aware, and I think they did this as a bit of a typo here. This A minor, you see it's uppercase. The minor keys really should be written in lower case. Officially, they just should. So for E minor, you can just write a lowercase e right there. Okay. For D, the key of D major, have a look. You've got D right here. What is 3 half steps below D? Well, let's find a D. Count down 3. 1, 2, 3. So the relative minor key of D major is B minor. Let's just do one more together. We'll go across to let's just do one more on this side. Let's say you have A major. Count down 3 half steps to this one here. What is this minor key that shares the key signature? Well, if we're at the note A, we count down 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3. Now here's where we have to be a little bit careful. What do I call this note? I know it has 2 names. It's called F sharp, and it's also called G flat. But think of the key signature we're talking about. We're talking about the key signature that has 3 sharps, right? 1 sharp, 2 sharps, 3 sharps. So in a key signature that has sharps, What should I call this note? I should call it F sharp. So if you ever get to a black key as your answer, think of the key signature that it belongs to, and that should help you decide what to call it. We're going to call this key signature, not that we're going to call it, it is F sharp minor. All right. I want you to carry on filling in this circle of fifths. Just remember to keep counting down 3 half steps from the major key. Wherever you're at, down 3 half steps, down 3 half steps, down 3 half steps, always all the way around the major key, around the circle of fifths. When you get to the bottom here, you'll notice that this bottom place you have the key of F sharp major and the key of G flat major. So in just the same way that you have two key signatures per se, you're going to have sorry, that's not very evenly divided. You're going to have 2 keys here, one with a sharp symbol and one with a flat symbol. So be careful when you get to that as well, to the 6 o'clock spot on the circle of fifths. Carry on, complete this worksheet. We'll take it up in class.